Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Speed Simulator Part 5. Today's episode is going to be more of an explanation video, but I'll get into that in a moment. Before we get into the video, please consider subscribing. Most of my viewers are not subscribed, and I really think it would help the channel if you did. Now let's get into it. So today's video is going to be covering a pet menu. Now, the reason I am not going to be actually coding this pet menu with you in this video is because, well, to put it simply, it's very complicated, and I thought it would be better if I give you guys the scripts to work with, and then I explain them, and so you understand what they do, but also you can work with them to customize them to yourself. So, let's open this up. If I enable this, this is what the pet menu looks like. And as you can see, we have a little slot for where the pets go, and then we have a spin button. Now, in the next episode, we're going to add on to this and make this cost money, but let's get into that later. So the first script we're going to want to cover is distance control. So this script's pretty simple. All it does is it takes this egg right here, and it finds the distance between the player and the egg, and if they're within a certain range, it opens the GUI. So we start by defining the player in the variables section. So we define the player, the character, the player's humanoid root part, and the reason we use that is because it is shared among all types of models, even Arthro, and then the egg station, which is basically this. So then we define the GUI objects, which is just the main background, which is this, and the second background, or background shadow, as I called it here. And then finally, we set up a loop with while true do, which figures out the magnitude, which is distance between the root part's position subtracted by the egg station's position. And if the magnitude is within a certain number, then it makes it true. If it's below it, it makes it false. Pretty simple. Next, we're going to get into the big script, which is the main script, which is pretty beefy, and you can see why I couldn't fit this all into one episode. So of course, we start by defining the variables, and then we define all this stuff, so like just local variables, pet image variables, which is like a camera, and I'll get into that in the second episode, and then pet image parts, which just have to do with like the actual pets themselves. So let's actually get into the loop. So basically, spin button mouse leave and spin button mouse enter just make the button grow and shrink depending if your mouse is on it to kind of make the player want to click it. Spin button mouse button down, on the other hand, is when it gets clicked. And basically what it does is it checks if a spin is already in progress, and if it's not, then it sets one into progress by setting this to true, shrinks the button down again, and then runs the spin command, which is this big function over here. So let's break this down. First, question mark dot visible, that's just this question mark right here, it makes that invisible. Cycles.value equals 0, we're going to use that to check how many times a certain script has repeated. Pet.visible, that basically just makes it so the uh, frame that holds the pets is visible. And then chosen pet is just choosing a random number between 1 and 100, and based on the number we get, it's going to choose a pet. Then we repeat this. This basically just runs through the 3 cameras of the 3 different pets to make them appear in this little box. You can look that we check the positions and we have them lock onto the pet's face. Then we have that using our cycle, so that's what this was for. Then if we go up to if chosen pet is less than or equal to 50, that chooses that the pet was the dog pet, or, well, I changed the name, but regardless, it would choose the pet based on these variables. Now, you could add as many else if statements if you want, and make certain pets rare, make certain pets very common. It really just depends on your preference and how you want your system to work. So this is where the main customization is going to take place. And then finally, when the whole system is done, it sets is spinning to false so the player can spin again. Now, this isn't a completed script. We're going to be finishing this in part 2 because that's going to be more simple. But we can see that if we play and look at this in action, the way it works, although seems simple on the surface, I just showed you was quite complicated. So if we go over here and we spin, It goes between 3 pets. By the way, Victor in my Discord server, he created these pets and he won helper role through it. If you guys too want to win helper role, you could consider joining my server, and every once in a while I do competitions where you can win it based on your performance. And as you can see, we spun a pet, and if we spin again, we're going to get other pets, and when you walk away, it closes. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more just like this, please sure to subscribe with post notifications on so you don't miss out. The model link is in the description below, along with the Discord. Please consider joining, and see you next time.